Okay, time being 6:35, I'll call Halifax Planning Board into session. All members present except for Carlos at this time. Is that Carlos? I didn't hear who that was. Okay, on the agenda, we have appointments. 6:30, Chris Winowitz, noise complaint for 450 Industrial Drive. We have 6:45, Monpont Liquors, 653 and 655 Monpont Street. 7 o'clock, we have Pasture Lane, Mike Goodman. 7:15, we have a zoning bylaw change meeting. That's a hearing. And then on discussion, we have comprehensive permit for the country club estates. We have a letter from the selectmen where the unanimous vote of the planning board to be on their agenda regarding appeal of zoning board decision, bylaw 16722, and denial of request. On discussion, we have site plan discussions, just to follow up with the site plans for 241 Franklin Street, 395 Plymouth Street. We have map 95, lot 9 and 10. And then we had for discussion variances for some different properties. 11 A Street, map 19, lot 65A, 5 Short Street, 92 Lincoln Street, 24th Ave. And then we have for discussion about electronic submission of plans, laptop for the planning board, Zoom meeting membership, proposed zoning bylaw changes possible, possible provision 1 multifamily structure option, zoning bylaw 16722, and zoning board decision petition 915 Amanda's Estates, and any other case law that may come up. We have Pine Street North a lot. And then we have meeting minutes for September 5th, November 21st of 19, and then February 6th of 20, March 5th of 20, March 19th of 20, April 16th of 20. And then we have bills, which we have Plumpton Halifax Express for the ad for the zoning bylaw changes for $84. And we have correspondence, an email from Alan Dees from 4/22/20, bylaw changes, a letter from the selectmen dated 4/28 to the planning board, request, let me see, the April 28th of 2020 to the planning board, request for appeals, zoning board decision. Emails dated 3/25/20, 3/31/20, 4/1/20 between Ms. Troop and planning board secretary regarding the September 5th meeting minutes to be done verbatim. Notice from abutting towns, notice of decision letters from Zoning Board of Appeals and Conservation Commission, and any other unscheduled business following the posting of the agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as read?
I make a motion to accept the agenda as read.
That was Mark. That was Amy.
Mhm.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So is that 3?
I'm not sure I've heard anything from Ashley yet.
Okay. Is she on now?
She is, and she's not muted.
Okay.
But she just, oh, wait a minute. She moved. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Ah, there you are.
Okay.
Yep, we got you now.
I think I was muted, but I said aye.
Okay. And Carlos is still not on? Okay.
I don't believe so.
All right, so we have a motion seconded and approved for the agenda. So first up, we have Chris Winowitz, noise complaint for 450 Industrial Drive. Chris, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I guess we can talk about it, but I was wondering if we could also do it at a later date too, because I had videos and pictures, but I don't have access at them right now. Or I don't know if we discuss what the problem is.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's worth discussing first, and if there's any more information or if you think the videos would help, we can always come back to it.
Okay. Well, this happened probably the week before Martin Luther King holiday weekend. There was this noise. Oops, sorry.
January, right?
Yeah. We started hearing a noise throughout the house, so when we went outside to see what it was a machine coming from the industrial park. It was like harmonics vibrating throughout the house. It went on all week, all day long during the weekdays, and then it came to the Martin Luther King weekend, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, on the Monday of the holiday. I tried calling down there just to see what it was, to talk to them about it. And I got a runaround at multiple phone calls. I called the address where the machine is. They said they don't have any knowledge of a machine. They don't have a machine. It must be the people next door. So I drove down there. Newcomb's was next door. So I called them. They said it's not their machine. It's the people next door. And it went back and forth. When they're finally operating it on the holiday, I called down and basically demanded I wanted to talk to someone at Newcomb's. And then I got a manager there, and he told me it is the people next door. It's not their machine. He explained to me they have the identical machine, and they had problems with noise, so they had to move their machine out to the middle of 200 acres at BRS, sand and gravel, to get it away from people. I told him what was going on, and he's thought it was unbelievable that they would even operate the machine on a Sunday. Ever since then, it was continuing. Some days they would use it 2 days in a row, then a couple days not. But it hasn't been being operated ever since we've had the quarantine.
Okay, now is this the wood processing plant?
Yes, it's a big grinder. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know that they were permitted for stacking wood. I'd have to relook at the plan to see exactly what they were proposing there.
Now, I've driven around and have videos. It doesn't seem, it's so loud, but not as loud at street level or 3 different directions around the industrial park. But you get to our area, I don't know if it's the way the machine's facing, and we're up on a hill with absolutely no barrier coming across the lake, that it's kind of unbelievably loud and going right through the house and everything.
Okay. I do want to mention that I'm going to recuse myself from this issue. I've recused myself from the 450 Industrial Drive. I mean, I'll run the meeting, but I'm not going to have opinion on it. So anybody else? I mean, I don't want to interrupt you, Chris. I'm keep going.
Okay. What I wanted to do was talk to them before I even involved the town, but they keep denying that they even have a machine there every time I called, just somehow to mitigate it or something. I mean, my thought was that giant pile of wood chips that's 40, 50 feet high should be in between us and the machine, or slightly change something, or?
Yeah, that's certainly something we can discuss, especially on the Sunday. Again, I'd have to look to see like what's permitted. A lot of times in the industrial zone, I'm not sure if they're operating under regular situation and regular operating hours. I'm not sure what we can do to enforce that, but we can definitely take a look to see, when the orders of operations, especially on, late Saturday or early Saturday morning and Sundays, those might be prohibited just where they are.
Because I also did talk to the Mass DEP, and actually I've got to contact someone because they're working from home, but there are laws that noise is considered pollution, and it shouldn't be, at certain levels, be leaving the property line. Otherwise, they can come down and test and fine them and stuff. Because even though they were saying it's industrial, yeah, they can have the business in industrial, but the noise shouldn't be traveling away. They should be mitigating it.
Yeah, that definitely could be a thing. As far as the planning board and enforcing that, like we can definitely look into it and figure out what the best way to go is. I'm not sure that we necessarily handle the sound thing, but we may be able to point you into the right direction to see if that is an issue.
Okay.
It's kind of strange, like you're saying now, it doesn't, obviously they're not operating because of the current conditions the way they are, but if that's how they were operating, we assume once things pick up again that they'd be doing it again. So maybe we can send out a letter to them, maybe get an idea of exactly what they're doing out there. And maybe if we got, you guys and them together, we might just be able to talk this out and figure out a good solution for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do that, we could reach out to them, see if they're willing to come in and have a talk, and maybe we can just talk this out. I think that.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. That's what I kind of. Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. That's kind of originally why I was trying to contact them.
Yeah, that sounds good, and then we can take it from there. I mean, they might say, "Oh, yep, didn't realize it was that loud. We'll move behind the thing." So I think that's a good way to start.
Okay.
I would agree, and I'll just scan over the bylaws a little more intricately and see what it says about noise.
I think it'd be a good idea too if we can get the videos and the things that Chris has to be able to have while they're here, so maybe they can hear firsthand what's going on, at Chris's house.
So the videos were taken at your house, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, from in the house, outside, the backyard. And it seems to be the worst with us. The house is on the hill here, so I don't know if it's because we're raised up with no barriers.
Probably.
It's not as loud at ground level, like if you go down near the, the industrial park.
So is that what?
I'd like to ask Joanne if she could get in contact or send them a letter, and if you're available next meeting, be the 21st. We could do this again and get everybody involved.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, excellent.
Mark, could I suggest that you go over some wording that you want in the letter so that she has that on the tape?
Okay, yeah, Joanne, just let them, actually, I guess if you could let them know that there was a noise complaint and that we're going to be discussing it on the 21st, and we'd like them, to participate, and hopefully we can work it out.
Is that agreeable to everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, I was looking through my stuff. I don't see the bills. Did anybody find those in the?
Email? Is that what you mean?
Oh, maybe it's PH Express.
I don't have them.
I have. She sent it under,
It was today. It's an attachment from today.
yeah,
Oh, six.
It's an $84 bill. Let's see.
great. I just swiped it and wiped it out.
Okay, I'll try and see if I can. Who is it payable to?
Can you forward that email again to everybody?
Yeah.
And I'll get it?
Yeah, I was actually gonna say I could put it on the screen.
Okay. I'm not used to this Outlook.
Is this it?
Yep.
Or is it a different bill?
No, I believe that's it. Yeah, that's $84, yeah. So does somebody want to make a motion to pay the bill?
I'll make a motion to pay a bill to the Plimpton Halifax Express for public hearing ads on 4/17 and 4/24 in the amount of $84.
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Passes unanimous.
Next bill?
Do we have another one?
Oh, it's just the invoice. Got it. It's the invoice.
Okay, what else do we have? Okay, next we have
$645.
oh yeah, 645. One Ponset Liquors. Does anybody else come on?
Yeah, I believe someone here was here to speak on that.
Yes,
Carry on.
yes, Gordon, and board members. This is Lawrence Gogarty. I'm the owner's rep
Hi.
/ sort of project manager.
Okay.
Does everybody have a copy of the site plan? Yes.
I do not. I'm not sure if someone could post that.
Let me see what I can do. I have the letter. Hold on. Maybe that was a few days ago.
Larry, do you have a copy of it there?
Yes, I do. This was the letter, or this is the site plan that I left off at town hall.
Oh, I
a
think
week and a half ago now, but you apparently, Gordon, only got the letter. You didn't get the site plan or the architectural floor plans, correct?
Yeah, that's all I have, yeah.
Oh. Well,
Do you have video?
no, I'm just a call in right now, so there's no way I can. There's no way I can show you the site plan at this point. But if I can make an effort to kind of describe what is going on.
Absolutely.
Is everybody Okay. Is everybody familiar with the building in question?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So back in March, the section on the left-hand side, which was about to fall down, has been taken down. And what remains is two other sections of the building. The one on the right is and will be the liquor store. And the portion of the building on the left that used to be the dining room for the old restaurant that was there is just going to be storage. We are currently in the process of doing basic renovation work, which is basically essential work. That it involves a new roof, a new HVAC unit for the store only, complete new interior wiring because nothing that was there essentially is up to code. New insulation and new ceiling tile and probably a coat of paint inside in the liquor store. There is no new expansion of the existing footprint of the building.
I'm sorry,
The
just to
day
clarify,
before
when you say
yesterday-
existing, you mean as of right now, not the footprint that the building was?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, so you're not rebuilding the other half?
Oh, no, not at
Okay.
all. So I have had several meetings. Well, the other day I met with the building inspector, the fire chief, and the deputy fire chief, just to show them what we were doing inside. The most important aspects of the electrical work are our exit signs, emergency lights, smoke detectors. The owner is attempting to get this open ASAP. He has owned it since October, but he's kind of put this on the long finger until now. The building inspector has been very helpful. So what I am looking for is a waiver from the full site plan review process. We will have parking to the right side of the building as you look at it from the street. The site plan that I had sent to Gordon shows 16 spaces. Half would be sort of, half would be perpendicular to the side of the building, and the other half would be a mirror image of what would be facing the building. I don't know if I'm describing that right.
Should you be eliminating
the
those
area-
spots where people?
I'm sorry?
I just wanted to, I wasn't sure if I got that right. So you're going to eliminate the spots where people slide in the front and only have parking on the left and right of the building?
Well, for now, there's so much area. We're only going to, for now, have parking on the right side. There will be no parking allowed at the front. In other words, parallel to the building.
Okay.
Because that would impede that would impede the access, for example, for the fire department. So we'll put signs up that you cannot park, parallel to the building. You can only park
On the sides.
to the right side of the building. Correct. And we've got loads of room. Like I said, I have 16 spaces. The area of the retail store open to the public is 1,160 square feet. The total area of the liquor store is 2,700 plus or minus, but 1,160 of that is actually the retail area. The rest will be office, storage, etc.
I don't know. I really wish we had a copy of the plan that we could see right now so that I could follow you better.
Well, I know.
Larry, are you able to
when
take
I
a picture of the plan?
Gordon yesterday.
Could you take a picture of it and then email it?
You're talking to somebody who's not particularly, as Gordon said the other day. Yeah, I mean, I can hang up and take a picture of it.
Well, I think also if you're asking us whether or not we would waive a complete site plan review, I think I may be inclined to that, where it's really just a renovation, but we would definitely want to see and sign off on something that at least laid out the parking lot in that change where the rest of the building and the use is not going to. I'd be willing to set aside an entire site plan review, but would definitely like to see that layout and signed off on it.
All right. I'm sorry. Is this Mark?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look. Why don't we do this? How about if I make hard copies of the plan and leave 5 copies for you guys at town hall, say on Monday, and just put me back on the agenda
For the 21st.
for the 21st. Yeah.
Okay.
Because honestly, once you see this, you'll have a much better understanding of what it is we're doing. At least I can go back to the owner, and I'll be talking to Rob, the building inspector, as well. And I feel comfortable that once you see the plan, you'll be okay with the waiver. But I do not want to put words in your mouth. Put it that way. So I will.
Sounds like a good plan.
Just a question, Larry. Do you have any green space on the plan, or?
Not really, Amy or Ashley. It's.
You're right.
You might want to take it. Yeah, I mean it's all paved. It has been for years.
Yeah.
So there's no, as you say. Now there's a house in the back. On the lot, and again you'll see this on the site plan, but that house is vacant. I haven't even been inside yet. Just from the outside, it's a disaster. There's some lawn there, but it's all shot. Maybe what you guys could do, if I may suggest, is between now and the 21st, if you can take a drive by, and then you'll get a much better sense of what's happening here.
No, I've seen it, but yeah, I just was curious about the plan. But absolutely, I've seen it. I understand a little. Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It needs a lot of work. But so is that okay with you guys if we do that, and then we'll talk again, on the 21st. Sure. And if anybody has any questions in the meantime, Joanne has my number, and I'm available anytime to answer questions.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have to make a motion to continue it, or are we just going to put it on the agenda for next week? I mean, 2 weeks from now.
We could just put it on the agenda.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Larry.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. All right, thank you all. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
All right, cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Next item we have on is pasture lane. I spoke with Mike Goodman. He's not going to be on tonight. He has somebody who's interested in buying the subdivision, or the last lot, and finishing the road. But they're working out the details. And I think what we need to do is we need to run that by town council. I spoke to Larry Mayo about it. And he said he'd be glad to take a look at whatever they're proposing, this, to make sure that we keep things locked in and keep things rolling. But
yeah, I think he's stalling because he did this once before when there was a threat that they were going to do it. He put it on the market for like 3 months and then just yanked it back off.
Yeah, well, I actually met Mike Goodman out on the job, and he brought the guys that are interested in doing the road, and I talked to them, and they're working it out right now with the lawyers, and whatever they come up with for a deal, we want to run it by town council to make sure, because Mike had tried selling the lot off before, and we want to make sure that the liability is still with him to make sure that that road is finished. So,
Okay, is there a proposed date that they need to do that by? Because
they're looking to
they-
be in at our next meeting.
okay,
They were trying to hit this meeting, but the lawyer didn't run the title down, didn't have things ready for it. So he said by our next meeting, the 21st, they should
Okay.
have some stuff. And prior to that, he's going to see if he can get the stuff in, and we'll get it to the town council prior to our meeting.
okay,
Like I said, I spoke with the gentlemen that are looking to do it. They looked at the lot, they looked at the amount of work that's left on the road, and they're road builders, and they believe that they'll be able to make a deal with him, make some money, and sell the lot off and get the road finished. So
okay.
it's better than the town trying to take it over.
Oh, it certainly is. I just hope that they're not just pushing us off again.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
100%.
so
All
I'll
right.
just plan on being at the next meeting as well, whether it's Zoom or
Yes.
in person.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
Tina.
your time.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's see. So I got a few minutes before 7:15. We have the comprehensive permit for the country club, and that's been extended into June. So there's really nothing to do with that. We have a letter from the selectmen. Did everybody get that?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want to discuss that, we could do that at this point, or we could wait until after the hearing. But basically, what we're looking to do for the hearing is open it up and then continue it to June 4th at 7:15. So it's up to you guys if you want to start discussion or hang on to the 7:15.
Well, why don't we take something a little bit more simple, like maybe,
Franklin Street,
okay.
the site plan follow-ups.
Mhm.
Okay.
So what we have is, we were just looking to do follow-up for the Franklin Street site plan. They come in, get the plan signed. I think what we need to do is get into the office and pull it up and just take a look if everything's all set there. They've started work out there now.
Yes, they have.
The 395 Plymouth Street. I think we just need an update from the building inspector to see what the status is of that. And then map 95, lot 9 and 10, and then 11A Street, map 19, lot 65A, 5 Short Street, 92 Lincoln Street, 24th Ave. I would all suggest that we pass over that tonight. And
Okay.
we can take a look at that at the next meeting. What's the feeling?
That's all right with me.
Yeah. Take your advice on
That's
that one.
fine.
Okay. Next, we have the you see the electronic submission. I think we need to kind of work on getting that into a regulation that we need to get all the plans submitted with an electronic submission. I mean, the paper plans as well, but the electronic is so much easier. I mean, it can be passed around. We can, especially for like these Zoom meetings, we can just get it on there.
Yeah,
So-
I
Yeah,
agree.
if we make it a requirement, it would be a lot easier. And I don't think we're really asking too much. I think everyone who creates the plans can do it no problem anyway.
Yeah, I think most everybody is creating them that way anyhow and then printing them, right?
Yep.
So.
I mean, Lawrence wouldn't have had to come back maybe if we saw it, you know?
Well, what happened is it got delivered to the town hall. So we don't have a secretary in the town hall right now. So then those don't get, I mean, they could have been scanned in or copied or whatever, but
No, I think
So-
Julianne said they were too big to be scanned in, the size that he brought.
oh, okay. All right, so, but I think that needs to be a regulation that we look to adopt, that's all.
I agree.
And then
Agreed.
the Zoom meeting membership, I don't know if this is something we're gonna keep continuing doing or not, but might be something that the board look at, getting a membership, and then we'll run our own meeting. But then the other thing is, you know, we had asked about getting a laptop for the board. We still haven't gotten that. And I think it's time that we push for that because who's our IT guy?
Caesar.
Caesar?
Was that
Caesar.
Caesar?
Caesar.
Said that he was going to get he was going to get it to us before it would only be a short time. So I need to reach out to him and find out where it's at.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea. It's been long enough.
Yeah.
Something we could definitely put to good use.
Yep. And then what else did we have? The zoning 16722, I mean, we had just kept that on. Pine Street North, that's a lot on Pine Street that we've had somebody inquire about, but I think we need to pass over that as well.
Okay.
The feeling of the board?
Fine with me.
That's fine.
Okay. And then we have minutes. Well, we get 7:15 now, so we'll go back to the hearing. See if I'll pull that up, I'll read that, and then I'll be looking for a motion to go into the public hearing.
Let me see if I can get it so that people on can read it too.
Okay.
Do you need somebody to read it, or are you gonna?
Yes, that one's town of East Bridgewater, I think.
Oh,
I've got it.
gee, I'm sorry. I just saw that it was the, excuse me.
The Halifax Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Thursday, May 7th, 2020 at 7:15 PM in the Great Hall, second floor, Town Hall, 499 Plymouth Street, Halifax, Mass, to see if the town will vote to make changes pertinent to the sections of the Halifax bylaw, Halifax zoning bylaw regarding multifamily uses and updates section 167-3, definitions 167-7, schedule of use regulations, and 167-12, density regulations for specific use. And let me see, I lost my place. And 167-12 density regulations for specific use. A new proposed multifamily bylaw section will be added entitled two-family and multifamily dwelling developments with subsections. A, definitions for condominiums, dwellings, dwelling detached, single-family dwelling, two-family, duplex, dwelling, multifamily dwelling unit, and multifamily development. B, general requirements applicable to single structure, two-family dwellings, and multifamily developments. C, single structure, two-family dwellings, and D, multifamily developments, two-family or multifamily dwellings, more than one structure. This hearing will also be held to see if the town will vote A, to allow recreational marijuana establishments in the commercial district via the approval of a special permit by the Zoning Board of Appeals. B, to update the floodplain section of the zoning and bylaw regarding the panel map dates and identification numbers, the LFD date, the purpose of the floodplain bylaw, and changes to the language concerning floodplain data. C, to establish in Halifax which entity makes a finding under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6. Said proposed changes are on file with the Town Clerk's Office, Halifax Town Hall, 499 Plymouth Street, Halifax, Mass. Halifax Planning Board, Gordon Andrews, Chairman, Carlos Sculty, Vice Chairman, Mark Melius, Clerk, Amy Troop, Member, Ashley Tassana, Member. Notice advertised in the Halifax, Plimpton, Kingston Express on Friday, April 17th, and Friday, April 24th. So I do have a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Based on the fact.
There you go.
Based on
Yeah.
the based on the fact that we're doing this as a Zoom meeting, I really feel that like the zoning board has just postponed the other hearing, we really need to have this available to the public to be in the room and make comments. So with that in mind, I would make a suggestion that we continue the hearing to June 4th at 7:15 at the Great Hall. Is there a motion for that?
I'll motion for that. I'll motion that we continue this hearing for the bylaws to June 4th at what time are we going to do it? 7:15
7:15 at the Great Hall.
at the Great Hall.
Okay, I have a
second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So I need a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the planning
Motion to
board.
close the public hearing and go back to our regularly scheduled planning board meeting.
There's second.
I second.
Okay. Motion made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 So unanimous vote. Okay. What did we have? What else did we have now?
We have, let's see.
We have the letter, I think, was the only
I
thing
think
we had
that's all,
left
yeah.
in the minutes.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have enough people for the minutes on 3/5, maybe 4/16 we probably do. 11/21, I don't think we do. February 6th. Not sure. Probably can do some of them, but some of them are, again, like 9/5. It's only me and Mark that were there.
Which one?
9/5/19. (11/21). I'm not sure if who was in attendance there because it's hard because I have to find where they are in another email. But we'll have to double check on that one. Hold on, I think she sent them to us the other day. Hey, Mark, aren't you the secretary? I'm just kidding with you.
Yeah, I am looking though.
I'm just
But
kidding.
you're
with
right,
you.
because I got to figure out when they had them in the thing.
April 16th, we could do with Gordon, myself, and Ashley. Carlos isn't here and Mark wasn't. Is that the only one that I have? I'm digging too. I was just joshing you.
But also, do you know what the subject was on the one that has the letter from the selectmen? Because I'm not sure if I found that yet.
That is in our email. I have to look for it. Sorry, one thing at a time.
I think it's under, you'll see it under Charlie. 42920. The
Okay.
paper corner.
Okay. Mark, I'm not finding the minutes for like some of the, well, not, for some of these dates, are you? I found, I think one.
No, and I think you also said the 11/21. That one's been like bounced around a couple times, so I can't find that one either.
Yeah, I know. I almost wonder if maybe what we should do is have them up, like everything we need for our meeting, put.
You want me to have them printed?
Well, no, I mean, like when she sends us the agenda, maybe attach the meeting minutes that we have to look at, so we're not searching through it. Oh, thanks, Joanne. Oh, we are, that one we can't work on tonight. Do you have any of the other ones? Thank you. And welcome back, by the way. Everybody okay?
She hear me choking?
Whoever's choking, I hope you're okay. Okay, I just did a search. So, all right, so the 19th of March is Mark, myself, and Ashley. So, and Carlos was there, but there's 3 of us that we could do. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, that's February 6th. I'm sorry, wrong date. Sorry, I'm going to be confusing. I thought it said. Or 16. For 16, we had in attendance Gordon, myself, Ashley, and Carlos. So we could, oh, I already said we could do that one, right? So let me, sorry, I'm getting it all together now. March 5th was one of the dates, right? So we have Mark, myself, and Ashley, and Gordon arrived later. Carlos was there, but we have enough to do that, so I'll download that one. Then we have,
All right, so I found 9/5/19 that is me, you, and Gordon.
but I think he was, so I think he was, I don't know if it matters, but I thought he was recused from the whole thing. Does that matter? Anybody have any advice on
No,
that?
I don't think so, because he'd still acted on a couple things.
I can vote to approve the minutes. Because we have to approve them, so it has to be done somehow.
Okay. I was just asking if it could be done. That's the only ones I have are the ones that I've mentioned, and then Mark has that one. That's the only ones I have. I just did a search in my home email box.
Yeah, anything that says meeting minutes.
Yeah, that's what I did.
They all have a bunch, though. It's tough.
Yeah, Joanne just sent some. All right, so she just sent me 2/6, 11/21, 3/5, and 3/19. So does that nail it? Does that make it that we have everything? 4/16, 3/5. All right. I have so many screens open. I'm trying to figure it all out. Okay, so on February 6th, you guys seeing these ones that she just sent? So we have Mark,
Yep.
Carlos, and Amy. And Gordon was absent. Oh, and Ashley, right? Was that your first meeting?
I think so.
Do you want to read over these ones and we can, this one, and then we can see if we can approve it?
All right, checking it over now.
Which day is on now?
February 6th, 2020.
Okay.
So myself, Mark, and Ashley will be looking at it. You weren't at that meeting. So we had, yeah, it was a night that 241 Franklin Street was on the agenda and they weren't there that night. I forget what was happening that night. What was that like right before? I don't know. Okay.
That was the night we went to see the cancer.
Okay. Everybody all right with that one?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm ready.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read at February 6, 2020.
Okay, is there a second?
I
I'll
second.
second.
Which one?
This is,
Martin.
Ashley?
This one. Yeah, I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes.
okay, so 11/21, we had Gordon, Mark, and Amy, so we can do this one. Is everybody seeing it?
Yep, I'm reading it now.
Gordon, can you see it on your phone, or are you on your phone, or are you on? What are you doing?
I'm looking it up on my phone.
Mm.
We have a date that when it came out?
When it came out. She just sent it
It's
tonight.
in the newest, in the newest email. It's under like more meeting minutes.
Okay. 11/21, yep.
Wow, that was the first time that Tina Kenyon came in, huh?
Huh?
The Farmview Estates thing, the pasture lane that we were dealing with, that's like, this started.
Oh,
at
was that the first
11/21.
time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, my memory's shot. Weren't they in last, like, spring when I was just watching you guys too, though?
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
yeah.
Just a little grammar on, gosh, what page is this? On page 3, paragraph 2, about a little more than halfway down. Milius feels none of these modifications have nothing to do, have anything to do with frontage, and everyone in the, yeah. I think it's just nothing
I don't
has to
think
be
I talk
changed.
like that.
Anything. Well, that's a double negative and would actually mean the opposite of what you were saying, so.
Yep. That's why Larry used to always read these. They always made him sound funny.
These are quiet meetings.
Yeah.
A lot of reading in this one, though.
Mm-hmm. Besides the grammar, I'm fine.
Yeah, same here. Makes me sound silly.
Well, I want to prevent that.
But again, like I said, it does kind of nullify anything that I said.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept?
I'll make the
Okay.
motion to accept the meeting minutes on November 21st, 2019.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so 11:22 is accepted.
21.
21, sorry.
That's okay. So now, oh, March 5th isn't coming up for some reason. Oh, here it is. March 5th. Okay. March 5th.
Edward Johnson.
It's not muted.
Wait, what is that?
Sounds like TV.
It's not my house.
Amy, just as a reminder, I think you're projecting your screen.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
doing it so that anybody who would want to read the minutes, since we were just being quiet, could read them. I'm
Awesome.
being entertained. I'm being the entertainer.
I just wanted to give you a reminder.
Yeah, I have to stop. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, as an update, they did the ATM at Santandana today.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. They added the canopy, right?
Yep.
Must look state of the art.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I keep highlighting things. I'm good.
I'm good too.
Okay. So what do we have? All of us present for that one, or?
So that is Mark, Carlos, Amy, Ashley, and Gord. You arrived at 7:55, so yes.
Okay. So is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for March 5th, 2020?
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes for March 5th, 2020.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
There you are.
So unanimous. Okay. Now what do we have?
Now, 319? Or did we already do that? No. 319. And that was Gordon, Amy, Ashley, and then Carlos joined in late. And Mark, you were not there.
Okay.
I'll put it on the screen. Oops. I have one little comment. At the beginning of the discussion that we were having, I didn't bring the issue back up. I believe that another member of the board did when Scully arrived. I did not bring it back up. I think that's important to be noted in here.
At which point?
When the discussion, when Carlos Sculte arrived at the meeting, I did not bring this discussion back up. The one that we had passed over as we didn't have a quorum earlier in the meeting. I didn't bring this back up, and I think it's an important note to be put in here.
Okay. And I would like to make a change where it says Andrews took a short break. I recused myself at that point.
Okay. Joanne, are you hearing us and able to take these notes down, or what do you want us to do here?
Yep, she said she's gonna check on those.
Okay. Based on those changes,
I'd like to just have the changes made and then relook at them at the next meeting if anybody else doesn't mind.
I'm good with that.
Thanks.
Okay, so that is
319.
19. So did we do 2-6?
Yes. I thought we did.
Yeah, we did 2-6. We did 11-21. We did 3-5, and we just pushed forward 3-19.
Okay. And then we have 4-16. We never have heard back from Adam Mitchell, have we?
I guess not. Joanne, have we heard anything at all in emails that you've received? I can barely hear you. Are you there? Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
He decided to cancel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, right.
That was the response.
That's what it says right on the minute.
Yeah, it says he canceled and is no longer interested in the property.
I'd just like to state in these minutes the reason I'm talking about zoning bylaw 16722 and only referencing 915 isn't because I'm picking on that petition. It's because the bylaw wasn't followed and I don't understand that. So I just want it to be noted that we are going to end up discussing that case due to the fact that the 16722 was of that, but it's not because of that. It's because of 16722 and the fact that the attorney showed up and said and was there for 3 meetings in January and February, 3 or 4 meetings she was at with zoning, telling them about that. So that's why that's why I'm about the 167.22. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with 915. Just so that, because the way it looks is it's always like pushing that, and it's just because you have to put it on the agenda to talk about it, but it's 167.22 that wasn't followed that I have an issue with. I just think that should be noted in these discussions.
I'll talk with Larry Mayo and see if we can just put the article, the zoning item on there and drop the other one or not.
Okay.
But I think if you bring up that case is why we would have to have it on.
Well, that's what I was just saying. It's like, it's not because, yeah.
I'll double check.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably just the difference between, you're not saying the issue isn't necessarily like the bylaw, it was like the enforcement of, so it has to be tagged to something. It must be something official like that.
I think that the vote, I'd like, of getting on the selectmen's agenda needs to be separated a little, because it was a motion, and it needs to be declared as it was a unanimous vote of the people of the planning board that night that were part of the discussion.
Where are you, Amy?
I am in page 2 in the paragraph where it's highlighted, M/troop S/DeSazer to request the planning board to be put on, motion second, sorry. To request the planning board be put on the agenda, and the vote to, we voted all in favor, and I think it should be separated like a motion so that people can see it better. The board discusses the option, we all voted, and there was a unanimous decision to have the planning board meet the selectmen. If you see on my screen, I just highlighted what I'm talking about. It should be,
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, just
Unanimous
separate it from the
decision.
paragraph.
but yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because sometimes, yeah, you don't want to make, like, hide a motion or something in a paragraph kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. So you can see that, right, Joanne? And just make sure it was a unanimous vote so that we could get on the selectmen's agenda, please. further down in the discussion on the zoning bylaw changes that we had. Number two, I don't think we were ensuring that a single family would be allowed in there. I think that was more of a question of saying, hey, does this or does not? So just to specify it, to make sure that it was very clear as a bylaw that, it does or it doesn't mention, you know what I mean? It wasn't that we were ensuring that a single family would be part of a multifamily development. It was that we were asking whether it was or it wasn't by the language. That was our intention. Can we have the minutes reflect that, please?
Sure.
My next change is to add Alan Diaz's comments so that it's understood by the public when they read our minutes what we were discussing.
Okay.
So I think those are my changes. Anybody else have any?
Everybody good?
Yep.
Those changes?
Yeah, I'd like to see the changes and then can we bring it to the next meeting?
Yep.
A question on how we're going to sign these. Is it going to be sort of like how we did the Mylar?
Yeah, we can have them at the town hall and stop in, or I can pick them up and bring them around. I don't care.
Okay.
Whichever the board would
Once
like.
we have an audio on it, can we just have them stamped at that point?
With the, yeah, we can use a stamp. If that's what you'd like.
I think on things like the meeting minutes, I think it's a good way just because it's always tough to get those processed. So it would be one way just to make sure they get done. And I think we can all agree, like once we have it said here, it should be good,
Anybody that wants the stamp to be used, that's fine. If somebody wants to sign personally, they can do that too.
I don't mind as long as it's motioned and accepted.
Ashley, how do you feel?
I don't know if I have a stamp, but if I do, it's fine. It'll be easier for you than having to drive it around.
Okay.
Okay,
And if
so
you
what?
need me to, I can sign it, whatever you need me to do.
Okay.
I think we've cleared up 5 meeting minutes, correct?
Yeah, I
And
believe
then-
so.
And then I would just not know if that September 5th meeting was entirely you were recused, so I don't know. Or am I wrong, Mark? I don't have it. I don't have the meeting minutes in front of me. For 3/5. Oh, wait a minute. There they are. Sorry, I forgot.
For which one?
Oh yeah. For 9/5/2019, I forgot that Autumn Lane and Hilda Lane were on that too. It's been a while. I still was saying that the hearing part should be verbatim, and I still stand by that. The rest of it I have read over and I'm okay with, but I think that the hearing part should be verbatim because there's a lot missing.
Feeling of the board? Mark?
Yeah, I still prefer the approval of the minutes versus the verbatim thing. I like the way they're written now, and then gives us the
We're talking about just the hearing though, not the regular meetings. Ashley?
I mean, I think for just the hearings, it makes sense to do it verbatim to make sure nothing's missed or tone isn't misread or anything like that.
just in my experience, the verbatim is where the tone and inflection gets lost.
But sometimes the tone and inflection is misinferred by the writer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if like you get a chance to,
No, like that's how I feel about it.
but if in taking notes you get to write down, and then when we all agree to the minutes, then that allows us to like ensure that the feeling that we all got, say it was someone speaking, that way we can all agree on, hey, I think that was sarcastic, or no, I don't. Like that gives us all a chance to decide, what we want there based off how the feeling that we all got.
Yeah, but the hearing should reflect what the hearing was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why when we go over them, we can make sure that that's just my opinion.
I mean, I'm good with the hearings being verbatim. I mean, I don't know if you want to make a motion, we do that.
I'd like to make a motion that the minutes be verbatim for a hearing.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I guess me, yeah. I don't like that.
Okay. All right. So is that all the minutes that we're doing at this point?
I think so, and then maybe we'll go back to the letter.
Okay.
Is that the only thing left? That's the only reason I said that. I think that's the only thing left, right?
I think so. Yeah, we took care of Chris, the Montponset Liquors, Pasture Lane, the zoning bylaw, comprehensive permit, the letter we have still, Franklin Street, Plymouth Street, we passed over the other stuff. We spoke about the electronic submission. I mean, maybe what we need to do is try to put a regulation together for that for the next meeting.
Okay.
Something we can vote on for the next meeting. So Joanne, we'll want to put that up as a appointment type appointment or discussion.
Yeah, probably in the upper half. Let people know that we plan on acting on it.
Okay.
You mean which one are we talking about again? I'm sorry.
For the electronic submission for the plans.
Okay.
So I mean, we discussed it. Now we need to kind of go forward and put it into a regulation.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we're at the letter. Does everybody have a copy of the letter?
I still don't. I think the last thing I got from Charlie's like on the 4th. I don't see anything before that.
It was your email on 4/29.
Yeah, I got nothing on that.
I'll put it on my screen.
That'd be cool. Thank you.
Where is it?
And so this letter still goes back to that 915 petition, so I'll recuse myself from that.
My simple thought process on this is a response that states this is a lot of work to deny the unanimous decision of an elected board in the town of Halifax to not meet with the selectmen. It's a lot of work, and it was a lot of time that was spent, because at the selectmen's meeting I was at, I believe Ashley was there too, but I remember hearing Charlie Seelig said that he wrote this. So there was a lot of time spent on it, and a lot of it is really unnecessary because it goes through a lot of pointing and a lot of things that are a little, like for instance, the special town meeting I vehemently opposed. The town as a majority voted against it, but all of this could be a huge discussion and whatever. This is a simple case of, to me, dear selectmen, the planning board had unanimously said that we want to be on your agenda, and you've denied us twice. Why? What's the big deal? And it's funny because as I was reading some minutes tonight, Charlie stated in some of the minutes to Amy Creswell that it was okay that the planning board talked to land use attorney about items, and that as long as he gave the permission. And now it's like we're not allowed to talk to the attorney, and big long letters when I don't know how that happens when an elected board has a unanimous decision to meet with the selectmen, and that's my feeling.
All right, so you kind of went over it fast, but in the top, did they deny our chance to even talk to them, or did they just say that we couldn't, or they wouldn't fund fighting or doing the appeal? Like
We
they
had a
wouldn't even talk.
unanimous
They would.
decision to meet with us. And they wrote us a letter and wouldn't put us on the agenda.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could you just like put it up again? I just wanted to see if they would. Like, it just seems weird that they wouldn't even meet with us. Like, if they made a thing about not supporting the appeal, like that's like their opinion. But it seems weird that they denied even like a conversation.
They did, because on March 24th, they said that we couldn't use it. And then we voted in the April 16th, I believe, meetings that, and I'm sorry, I'm just working on getting this back to you, Mark. Hold on. I lost it somehow. I think it was the April 16th meeting, we voted that we should be on the agenda, and we unanimously decided it. And then that's when they wouldn't put us on the agenda. And they wrote us that letter, and Charlie Seelig wrote the letter, not the selectmen. And they didn't read it out loud at the selectmen's meeting or anything, but they did not allow us to meet with them. And Troy Guerin even said on the meeting that we weren't on the agenda, because I was there and I think I saw Ashley at the meeting, correct?
Yes, I was there. I've been at most of their meetings lately.
And hold on, I'm sorry, Mark, I'm just trying to figure out how to get it back.
Oh, it's all good. I sent Charlie a thing, see if I can get it. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't have anything on 429.
Okay. You're on the list, so I don't know what happened. It's probably lost in space.
Mark, do you want me to forward it to you? I have it right here.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be sweet.
Your AOL or the, well, there's two
Okay.
emails for you. Okay, I just sent it to you.
Seriously? Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Oh. Joanne, I'm just seeing this chat window, sorry. I know I had a stamp. I had prepped to make a stamp, just an FYI, but that's okay. I don't mind signing.
All right, yeah. So, again, like the letter serves to reiterate the denial of the approval. So I don't know if the motion was just I don't know.
We made a unanimous vote and they didn't want us to see them. We should have been
That's what I'm saying.
allowed
I
on
wonder
the
if we
agenda.
could make no. What I'm wondering is if we separated the two different things, right? So like if you asked for a meeting and to appeal, and it seems like their letter only denies an appeal, which means that like maybe we can at least, like we should at least be able to talk about it, like no matter what. So what if we just make a motion that is to get on their agenda to discuss it, and then
That's what we had tried to do. That was what we did last meeting.
Yeah, we
We unanimously decided to ask to be put on their agenda to discuss it because they're making it all about the appeal in the case, and that's not what it's about. It's about the bylaw. And again, in this letter, they come at the case, and that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, all right. Agreed. That's why I was wondering if we could like separate the two. But
And
Right, well,
they
let's
also
make it-
put in this letter a lot of information that we wouldn't know as the planning board, and they're making it like our fault that we had lack of discussion of financial stuff and things that we don't know about. So again, if they would just sit down with the planning board and hear what we're saying and realize that we're not even talking about that specific, yes, the bylaw pertains to that case, what had happened in that situation, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not going after the case. We're not going after the money the town spent. Like, that's not what we're looking at. And 2 meetings before that, all we had asked was, can we talk to Larry Mayo about what the situation is here? Because we had seen that Amy Kessel was wrong and she didn't say correct information. So all we were asking the selectmen to do was get town council with Larry Mayo to ask the questions we had asked Amy, pretty much, that we didn't get the correct answers to. And then they denied that right out of the gate. So last meeting, we asked if we could sit down with the selectmen and talk to them about it. And then this was the letter we got, which doesn't even acknowledge the fact that we asked to speak to them. So they denied us being on their agenda.
all right, yeah, all right. That's kind of what I'm getting at, because like when I didn't know that there were 2 different accounts, but if I read this, it doesn't say that they're not willing to talk. It just
Right.
says they're not willing to fund an appeal.
Right. And that's why
But,
I'm just trying to update you, because it was 2 different meetings that this happened.
Yeah, I don't understand the lack of communication. Like that should be number 1 between all the boards. We should be able to discuss all of this. Is that in one of the other meeting minutes? Maybe the ones that aren't out yet, the request for the regular meeting?
See, on April 16th, that motion I just asked to be separated, that was us unanimously just asking to be on the selectmen's agenda. And their response was a letter. And there was also an email that stated that Gordon C. Andrews would have to recuse himself from it, and that Troy and Tom had voted that they didn't want it on the agenda. And that was not during a meeting, but they voted that we wouldn't be on the meeting. And that's when we got a large letter that took a long time for Charlie Seeley to write.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
so like I think it's 2 different things. Where like I think the letter is probably in a good cover of why, like whatever reason that they denied it. I think they covered their butts by being like, hey, this is why we denied it. I just can't support the lack of communication or like sharing of information. Those are the things that, like, as far as the denial, like, I think that's something they can do, but any time that we're not discussing this between each other is wrong. I don't know where we go from this. I mean, if they don't hear us out, I don't know how we do it other than like a town meeting forum. I'm not sure.
Well, I would say that we could write a letter in response and be simple and say this is a lot of information that we didn't know, and that we want to again say that we have a unanimous decision of the planning board to be on your agenda.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as I don't know, I haven't been for the appeal anyway, but like I'm not against. I am against them not discussing it with us. But
It just doesn't look right. The selectmen should hear all boards, especially elected boards.
yeah, so maybe our proposal has to be a discussion without relevance to the like any other
Case.
like pending thing. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like you were saying before, where you were trying not to connect the petition to 16722. I don't think, from your standpoint, I don't see how you could, because your issue is not with the 16722, it's with the enforcement of it. And the enforcement of it
Right.
is pertaining to that petition. So I do not think that there's any way to discuss the 16722 enforcement without saying and using when and where it was enforced. You know what I'm saying? Because your issue isn't necessarily with the bylaw, it was the enforcement of it. So you can't talk about the enforcement of it without talking about the project that
Right.
was in question.
But you probably know me very well by now to know that I am always about making sure that the bylaws are followed to the T.
Yeah, I agree. I'm cool with that. My issue is, how do we have a discussion with them that is not about that particular petition? Like if we were just trying to discuss the ins and outs of 16722, we should certainly be having that dialogue.
I would agree. So I think our response should be simple, saying this is a lot of language that is, again, I don't know.
I think this language, like, certainly and probably defends their denial of the approval, but it doesn't scratch the fact that they didn't discuss this with us or weren't willing to.
Right.
That's,
I mean, I think we should make another motion to get back on the agenda to discuss the bylaw and keep making a motion until they let us sit in front of them and say our thoughts. I mean, I feel like this is just such a miscommunication of, if they would just have a one-on-one conversation with us, we would all realize what we're saying, and it wouldn't be an attack or about a case. It would strictly be about enforcing a bylaw. And it's just very odd to me that they wouldn't even hear us out. Or, you know, any public person can get on an agenda, but an elected board can't get on an agenda with the selectmen. How does that work?
yeah. Agreed.
I don't know. So I mean, I guess I would motion to
Or maybe
send another
at this point,
letter.
yeah, and maybe the letter, maybe we should be discussing things. The letter should be about, you know what I mean? If they won't,
Jason,
if they don't, yeah, maybe we should, I don't know, maybe it's important to have a meeting about open and clear communication.
right, especially with the selectmen. So I mean, I think at this point we motioned to try to get on the next agenda again. That's and have the conversation about the bylaw.
Agreed.
Yeah, because yeah, we're not, I think the discussion on the appeal is ended at that, right?
I'll second your motion.
So I asked for an all in favor because Gordon's not here.
All in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. We have any other business to bring before?
I can't think of anything. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Ooh, beat
I
me
would
to
need
it.
a second.
I will second that.
Nice. High five.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Good
All
night.
right, good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.